Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of The New World. And in today's video, we give our post-game reaction to the shocking loss by the Baltimore Ravens in the divisional round of the playoffs to top MVP favorite Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. The Bills came up winning 27-25 after a drop on a game-tying two-point conversion by tight end Mark Andrews, who Ravens fans are not happy about right now. But don't worry, there's a lot of blame to go around, so stay tuned. But before we go any further, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't, as we are on the road to 10K subs. Turn on those notifications and stay tuned for more content. And comment your thoughts on this divisional game. Now, fellas, it's time to go ahead and discuss our thoughts on the Ravens versus Bills divisional matchup.
My thoughts on the divisional matchup is that the true MVP came to fucking play. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't really do this a whole lot. And us as a crew, I would like to say that we're very humble guys. We don't like to pat ourselves on the back too much. But my brothers and I were just right about this convo. And I really just want to go back to a video that we put out on December 28th called Lamar Jackson is having one of the greatest seasons ever. And this is a video that, to my surprise, got a lot of hate. And then I started to realize and see how toxic and how obnoxious the Lamar Jackson fan base is and the Baltimore Ravens fan base is. And they were just killing us and really destroying me in the comments because all I said was, yes, this is a great, talented player in the regular season. But I don't care about that because every single year in the postseason, when this guy wins a big award, he drops. He either chokes or he drops. And when I say by drops means that if he's MVP, he doesn't give me MVP type performances in the playoffs. He never does. And after last year, when they got bounced by the Chiefs, we have to acknowledge that was his worst game of the 2023 season, was the AFC Championship game when he played against the Chiefs. He was MVP caliber all year round, but in that last game of the season, when it counts, when it matters the most, this is the game to get you to the Super Bowl, he did not come to play. He looked average. He looked like a regular, mediocre, game-changer quarterback. And that's fine, but you're the MVP. We got to hold you to higher expectations. Now, let's go to the 2024 season. Phenomenal stats. People are telling me this is the greatest season of all time. Lamar Jackson is a top 10 quarterback right now, and he's making his way to that top 5. He might be the best quarterback in the league right now. That's what people were saying. So I'm like, okay, cool. We get to the postseason. I need to see you do that. So Pittsburgh Steelers, he had a really, really good game. Niggas also don't want to talk about the fact of the talent. They added one of the greatest running backs of our generation to this team in a Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry could have easily had 2K this season. Easily. And if we factor in regular season and postseason, he did have 2K. I think that this Baltimore Ravens team, Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, are the only two players to have a 2,000-yard rusher and a 1,000-yard rusher on the same team. Only time it's happened in NFL history. People telling me how great this team is. I don't want to hear nothing about the defense because after week 1, they were the best defense in the NFL. So what are the excuses now? Did Lamar Jackson play bad? No, he didn't play bad. But crucial turnovers, interception, terrible pick, and a terrible fumble. I don't know what happened on that fumble. It looked like the ball just kind of slipped out. Don't know what happened, and Von Miller was able to, recover that and run it back. But if you are the MVP, can't afford to make those type of mistakes. You pay double for turnovers in the postseason. And what showcases the drop off is the fact that this dude only had 4 interceptions on the season. And I don't know how many fumbles he had on the season. Maybe y'all can help me with that. How many total turnovers did he have this year? Can y'all get that from me?
I remember because I remember Josh had 6 interceptions and 2 fumbles. I remember Lamar having one more. So if Lamar had 4 interceptions, he had like 5 fumbles, I think. Something like
Okay,
that.
so you have under 10 turnovers on the season, and you give me 2 in the most important, most crucial game, the last game of the season? So Lamar Jackson fans, this video is really for y'all because Lamar Jackson is a great player. I like him, honestly, from a personal standpoint. I think he's a good leader. But what do y'all have to say? Because what I'm seeing continuously is that anybody that wants to keep it a bean and keep it honest about Lamar Jackson is labeled a hater. And if he's of a different skin complexion than myself, then it's because he's a black quarterback. And that's just the honest truth. We don't want to give this guy any type of criticism. And I think a lot of that comes to the standpoint of him going into the draft and him being down on a lot of those draft boards. This guy was drafted 32nd overall and he won the Heisman Trophy. And people were telling him he need to go, be a different position. So he had to overcome a lot. So I think that mainstream media, as well as football fans, have done a 180 to defend everything that he does because of all of that backlash and negative criticism that he got up until that point. And really up until he won his first MVP, he was getting a lot of criticism. And I get that, but we don't do that here. We keep it honest about everybody. We got to be objective. And Lamar Jackson fans and defenders of Lamar Jackson throughout the season have not been objective. I said when the season started, I don't care if he wins a regular season award. I want to see him win the Super Bowl MVP. And yet another season, he will not be doing that. And I know what people are going to do because I saw at the very, very end of that game, Lamar Jackson, a perfect smile, showing all 32 teeth, seeing the grills, I'm seeing everything. And I'm like, am I mistaken? Did this brother win or did he lose? He over there cheesing, hugging up on Josh. And I'm like, where's the competitiveness? What's going on? But then, guys, I realized I looked at the stats and, Lamar Jackson, 8 of 25, 254 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, an interception with a 114 quarterback rating. Because now Lamar Jackson fans, that's all they care about. All they care about is his pretty precious quarterback rating. So you can't blame me. Look at my stats. I didn't drop off. I didn't have a bad game. I had a good game. Look at my stats. Mark Andrews, he dropped that pass. We're going to put all the blame on him. No, you are the MVP of the league. You're a top 3 quarterback. We're holding his ass accountable right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna give my thoughts on the situation. I think because I don't think this is completely on Lamar. I think he's gonna get most of the blame, obviously, because he's the quarterback, and of course he's a 3-time MVP. He didn't play to that level.
No, he not. No, he not. He ain't gonna get the blame.
Nah, he's gonna get the blame because everybody's gonna talk to him everybody's gonna talk about him on the news outlet. So if you watch the sports show, they're gonna be talking about Lamar Jackson. That's gonna be the question. Dude, if you go just imagine you turn on First Take, bro. You think Mark Andrews gonna be in the title? No, bro. It's gonna be Lamar Jackson and his playoff failures.
I just say, Stephen A. just tweeted that wasn't on Lamar Jackson. He just said it wasn't on Lamar Jackson. He just said Lamar Jackson played a good game.
Okay. Here's my thing. I think the combo will still be based around Lamar Jackson because that's
what it's based around.
It's been about. But
at the end of the day, I don't know.
I think it's a bit multifaceted. If you're just looking at the standpoint of the game, they lost this game throughout. And I will say this though, I don't think they came ready to play, especially on that inclement weather. And I think the inclement weather, if we've seen for multiple guys that play in, the snowing, very, very cold weather, it does hinder you turn the football over, which is why those two takeaways in the first half were so crucial. So that's my thing with Lamar Jackson. I didn't think he really played bad per se. I didn't think he played up to his standard as a 3-time MVP. We've seen this season he has 41 passing touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He had 2 passing touchdowns and 1 interception. But the man did, and I will say this though, because many people like Tom Brady, they get like a break because they have great defenses and they have great situational play outside of them. Even though Tom Brady's a clutch player, Tom Brady's had multiple games in the AFC Championship game, 3 interceptions, and they still won. So my thing is, Lamar Jackson, y'all are driving against the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills opted to go for the field goal to make it an 8-point game. Y'all score a touchdown. He leads an 88-yard drive, and something out of your luck happens and you lose the game, and for some reason he gets all the blame. You feel me? Like, that's my thing. I think Lamar should be held to a higher standard than everybody. I think he is, from what many people have said, second best quarterback in the generation. So he should be held to a high standard. I think everybody deserves a piece of this pie. I think Harbaugh deserves it, definitely. Of course he deserves it. I think, my thing with the play calling of the Ravens is that they got going in the third quarter because they started running the football, but why did Derrick Henry only have 21 rushing yards in the first half? See, that's my thing. So I think it's different parts. Of course, Lamar, he's gonna have to take majority of it because he's a quarterback. But I think this wasn't really a great example of showing that he's a playoff choker. Now he is definitely a dropper. There's no doubt about it. Him and Peyton Manning, uh, people have and Aaron Rodgers too. People have the opinions that these guys are just choke artists. Like they're really not choke artists. They just don't perform as well as they do in the postseason. And if you look at many NFL quarterbacks, just based off of analytics and stats, they don't improve that much in the postseason. Just a very, very few. It's just a very, very few. One happens to be the greatest, and he plays in a generation that Lamar Jackson plays in, which is Mahomes, and he's held to a different standard because he is the clutchest quarterback of all time and the best playoff performer of all time. So, uh, that's my thoughts about the situation. I thought this game, the Ravens, honestly, and the Ravens came in this game as favorites against Buffalo team that was at home and a higher seed. And the Ravens, if you look at it on paper, the Ravens have a better team than Buffalo, and basically every position, every position. And I know they didn't have Zay Flowers, so we're not gonna use that as an excuse. But basically, every position they had a better roster than Buffalo, and they should have won this game. They should have won this game, but they came out flat. And Lamar Jackson has to get a lot of that blame for them coming out flat because, you're managing the game. You're a quarterback, bro. Like you're basically the coach on the field for them to play on offense. And y'all only went into the third quarter with 10 points. And if the Buffalo Bills offensive coordinator and Joe Brady didn't have CTE, the game should have pretty much been over. So that's my thing. I don't think Lamar deserves all the blame. 'Cause I know he's gonna be the talking point, and he should be the talking point. But there's other factors. And then Mark Andrews, I'm not gonna talk about the drop. Obviously, it's a routine catch. He has to haul that in. He's probably gonna get mauled in Baltimore. We know how the YNs be, over there in the DMV, like they get down. But yeah, I don't think this is fully on Lamar, but he has to play better. I think that's for sure. But Lamar Jackson, to me, I don't think he's capable of replicating the success he has in the regular season because you play against all these NFC teams and all these um AFC teams that are really not that good. It's going to inflate your statistics. But when you see them in regular season games this season, like, the game against, Mahomes and them, he came up short. In a couple games in regular season, he came up short, like the one in Philly. I thought that one was very, very harming. And kind of, the game in Philly kind of reminded me of the game they play right now, just in Buffalo. Like, just the way how it ended. They came down there marching to score. And so and so. So I think Lamar, he's definitely a playoff dropper. There's no doubt in my mind. Now, do I think he's Joel Embiid? Probably not. I think he's more James Harden a little bit, like just a bit more James Harden. Because Joel Embiid, he's really just not that good in the postseason. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the situation. I just don't think Lamar should be getting all the blame. I know Mal, he's gonna be really strict on these guys. The quarterback, you get all the praise. So when y'all win, so when y'all lose, you're definitely gonna get most of the blame. I think multiple other factors do kind of come into play. But Lamar, I would say he gets like 30% of this pie. Like he gets 30 to 40% of this pie. You feel me?
What you're saying is fair. I want Jay to get into this. What you're saying is fair. I do. My thing is I'm evaluating what everybody else is saying. So if everybody wants to give Lamar Jackson all, because one thing I was saying throughout the year, and correct me if I'm wrong, you guys are my witness. What was I saying throughout the season? This is a talented team. They got a generational running back. They got weapons at the receiver position. They got the dual tight ends. The defense has been the best defense since week 11, but all we want to talk about is the greatness of Lamar Jackson. And I get that. It's usually what we do for teams that have an elite quarterback is we tend to give all the praise to the quarterback. But when you do that and you also don't play well, then I gotta come at you. I gotta come at you because everybody telling me how great you are. Everybody tell me how great you are. So this was a legacy defining postseason for this guy. So yeah, because I kind of disagree with you on one thing. I don't think they started off flat. They scored a touchdown on that first drive. Easily. He turned the football over, and that altered the momentum of the game. And then he turned the football over again. So
Now,
it
well,
wasn't that
well,
they were
well, I
marching
was
down
gonna
the
say
field
that like,
easily.
my point was that if you score and they had 10 points in the first half, they had 10 points in the first half. To me, that's kind of starting off slow. Because if you're the because and yeah, And I know they opened up the game with a touchdown, but like my point is that if you're a top 3 offense in the league, which they were a top 3 offense in the league. You could argue they were better than Buffalo. You could argue they were better than Detroit. They had an argument. They had the reigning MVP, the soon to be MVP again this year. Who produced 4,100 passing yards, 900 rushing yards, over 400 touchdowns, sub 5 interceptions. And then running back, you already listed out the numbers for that. And the wide receiver core that they had in the tight end and the amount of Pro Bowls on there. For y'all to produce only 10 points in the first half, is what kind of should be the story of why y'all lost this game. And I don't think many people are. I mean, many people just gonna look at it and be like, "Yo, like Lamar, he threw a crucial interception in the first quarter, which didn't get, that didn't get turned in for points. But it's still you're losing a possession, and I know that was a miscue on him and Bateman because I don't know if Bateman ran the wrong route on that or he stopped because it looked like he stopped to me. If you go rewatch the play, and Lamar just let the ball out like where Bateman was supposed to go, and he didn't go there. So
Buff, on the fumble, they were in Buffalo's territory. They were marching down the field. They were gonna get
the fumbles on him.
they were at least gonna get 3.
Yeah, I agree. The fumble's on him because you lost points on that possession. Like that possession could have been 7. It could have been 3 points. So those are in the playoffs. Your mistakes get maximized, and if you can't capitalize on points, which Buffalo they weren't turning the football over. And Buffalo has been I think a top 5 team all time and not turn the football over at all. Like they don't turn the football. I think they're like fewest in turnovers, and they don't take negative plays too. So that's another thing. Like if you're not getting negative plays and you're not forcing interceptions and takeaways, and you're just leaving your defense out there, that's not a good recipe for disaster. So I think like Lamar should get a piece of this pie. But I don't think he deserves all of it. That's my thing because I feel like the media, well, not necessarily the media, 'cause I feel like they kind of deride Lamar a little bit. But if you check social media, they're gonna be like, oh man, like Lamar, they're gonna be trolling Lamar because he's the best player, and I think that's a bit disingenuous. You feel me?
Man, woo-hoo-hoo. Boy, Ravens fans, I've been waiting.
Get them.
Now, I'm gonna put blame on 2 people. In the first half, Lamar Jackson, he gave the Buffalo Bills the momentum. You're going into Buffalo. This is a team. First of all, you're going against a quarterback who everybody been, they've been saying that he didn't deserve this award. Lamar Jackson, this his award. Josh Allen, this and that. He's not better than Lamar. So that's one. Then you're going into his territory where he strives. They were 9-0 before this game. 9-0 in his territory. And you gave them momentum on that pick and that fumble. And look where that got you. Now, I'm not saying this entire game was on Lamar Jackson. He had to play really good in that second half. But it was a lot of mixed things going on. First of all, Derrick Henry. We're giving Derrick Henry 16 carries in a game that we got to win. 16 carries. And mind you, when they played Buffalo in the regular season, he had 209 yards, 24 carries. So if you giving Derrick Henry below 20 carries, you're already putting yourself at a disadvantage. And usually when I talk about Lamar, if you want to beat Lamar, you're gonna want to beat him passing rather than running. And that's what Buffalo did. They beat him when he passed, even though he passed good, but his tight end just happened to, kind of shit the bed and fumble. I don't know what I can see what he was doing on that fumble. Like he was trying to, try and get yards, but he kind of should have just went down. Like it's a snow game, the ball's slippery. Like you just got to get down. And then that crucial drop on 2-point conversion. I mean, when are we gonna stop blaming? When are we not gonna say that Lamar Jackson is not that guy in the playoffs? Like Caleb said, he is not the same guy when he goes into the playoffs. In the regular season, he's an MVP, but when he gets into the playoffs, he's dropping. He's James Harden. James Harden, he can be MVP in the regular season, but when it comes to that playoffs, he dropping. Like he's not the same guy, and it's okay. And I just hate when analysts say they try and make this about race and they try and make it seem like everybody's trying to hate on Lamar Jackson.
Oh, Cam Newton, get on him.
Cam Newton. Oh, I hope he's on First Take because I can't wait to hear his commentary. Because this dude I mean, when you bring up Josh Allen be better than him, it's like he gets offended. Like seriously. Like I don't know if he doesn't like Josh Allen because of the fact that he's built just like him, but Josh Allen just better than him. So maybe that's what it is. But like, I mean, the better quarterback won that game because 3 turnovers to 0 turnovers is a huge difference. It don't matter what time of the game it's in. That's a huge difference. And we all knew going into this game, the quarterback that handled the ball better was going to win the game. And that's who did. Lamar Jackson, 2 turnovers compared to Josh Allen, 0 turnovers. That's a big difference. And right now, it's looking like Harbaugh's kind of in that same conversation as Mike Tomlin. It's been 13 years since he's done anything, since he got to a Super Bowl. It's been 13 years. Now he's not as bad as Mike Tomlin, but I mean, it's showing like the Ravens, they have everything. This is probably his best team since, not having Ray Lewis.
Since
Since Ray
last
Lewis
year,
and them
like
was
we were
gone.
saying this
Like
last year,
literally,
they were the best team last year. And they
this
still can get the
team
job
is
done.
overall built better. They were the best team last year, built better, and they're the best team this year, built better. How like there's got to be something. So Ravens fans, y'all can't keep high on Lamar. Like you can't keep high on Lamar. Lamar finna be sitting his butt in Cancun, smiling and cheesing with them grills I see. But Lamar, man, I mean, he played a good game in the second half, but that first half is that's what gave Josh Allen, you know, and the Bills that momentum. And the Bills, I mean, they did a really good job at, stopping Derrick Henry in that first half. And the Ravens, they made the adjustment put going in an I formation, but they barely did it all the time. Like they probably did it like once or twice, and then the rest they was just like passing the ball with Lamar. So I was kind of, interested on that. Like the Ravens, they had the game plan. They didn't execute it. And yeah, I'm gonna say this is definitely on Lamar and Mark Andrews. Those are the two big guys that it's on. But to say this is only on Mark Andrews is crazy. And to say that those turnovers that Lamar Jackson had no impact on the game is also wild. Because like I said, you in a game like this, whichever quarterback handles the ball better is the one who wins the game. And we will see that same outcome in the Buffalo Bills and Kansas City Chiefs AFC Championship playoff game. Whoever handles the ball better will win that game. I mean, it's plain and simple, man.
Jay is spot on. And I feel like we're all in agreement. We're in alignment. We have the same viewpoint on this game and how it turned out. We're not saying it's all on Lamar, Buff, but when you're the MVP and based on this season, because Jay, it's the same shit every year. Every single season, the regular season, we glaze this guy, and in the postseason, we're like, you got to get it done, and then it's just a rinse and repeat. Because like, I'm not saying that Lamar Jackson is like Anthony Richardson in the postseason. I'm not saying that. Like, he not out here giving me tour dates, but he's not giving me what he's giving me in the regular season. And he's giving us crucial turnovers in the postseason when he doesn't, even in his in every MVP season, low turnovers, high touchdown interception ratio. That's why he got it last year. So you can't afford to turn the football over. In these postseasons, turnovers, bro, is double. You're paying double for turnovers. And Josh Allen, Bills haven't turned the football over really all year. So you just can't afford to do it, man. So I just want Lamar Jackson fans, and I'm seeing how y'all are reacting, talking about y'all gonna be back. No, you're not. You're not gonna be back. You're not gonna be back until y'all start to hold certain people accountable. I do agree. They gotta figure out something about the Jim Harbaugh situation. We're starting to see a consistent pattern. He is definitely in that same boat with Mike Tomlin. But that quarterback got to step up. If Lamar, because I just want to say this and we can end it off right here. Lamar Jackson fans, if Lamar Jackson plays the way in the postseason that he did in the regular season, they win this game. They win this game easily, dog. Easily. If he's 90% of that player, they win this game. He just hasn't been that guy, man. He just hasn't been that guy.